guys, my name is Zelda and I'm from Artjamming. While you guys are at home, I hope you stay creative and we have got a lot of lovely tricks to show you on how to do that. A little bit later, I'm going to introduce you to two lovely ladies, well artists, to come and show you how to do these things. Okay, so before we start, we always need to warm up. It's always good. We need to get loose, we need to get our brains open. So, everybody up on your feet, and here we go. First step, we need to breathe, okay? So, nicely on your feet, and lift your arms up, breathe in nicely. And nicely up, and stretch to the top, and down. And slowly roll up nicely. Let your arms swing. And once more, here we go. Nice, breathe in. And up. And down. And roll slowly. Swing your arms. Let your head stay down. And up. There we go. All right, so what do we use to paint? We use our hands. Now, we need to loosen them up. So, firstly, we're going to shake our hands around. Okay, so let's shake them, and shake them a little bit, and up to the top, and a little bit to the floor. Okay, so what else? Our fingers. Little finger stars. And some more finger stars on this side. A few more finger stars into the sky. There we go. And now, how about waking up a little bit? Let's clap those hands. Let's get the energy going. Oh, this doesn't feel right standing still. Let's put the body to it. And step, and step, and step, and step. There we go, guys. Well done. I hope you guys are all warmed up and ready to get creative. Hi, guys. As I've promised, I'm going to introduce you to a lovely lady, Lune. So, today Lune is going to show us a few tips on how to be creative. What we're going to do first is an evening landscape of a blossoming tree. Alright, so Lune, up to you. Where do we start with this?
Well guys, first you have to know what tools you're going to use. First I'm going to show you our paint. First you need your paint. This is available at any Artjamming store. The only paint that you need is these colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. Green, red, blue, white, yellow and black. That's the only colors you need.
And with that, we will be able to paint anything and create any colors we want.
Anything, and I can show you how to mix only these colors, and you can find any color paint that you need for your picture.
Alright, so we've got our paint. Now what else do we need?
It's so simple. Everyone will have this at home. You just need a simple water bucket.
Okay.
Just a small one like that. Do not fill it up too much. Just a little bit of water.
Okay.
You have your serviettes. Just to clean your brush, if you want to change your colors, dip it in the water and clean, dab to dry.
Okay. And next?
Then we have our 6 set of colors.
Yes.
Green, blue, red, yellow, white and black.
Yeah.
And any brushes at home that you have. I have a very broad, wide brush and some bigger and smaller brushes at hand.
Alright. Well, that looks interesting.
Also, any paper plate you can use for mixing the colors, to work with your colors. We have just simple paper plates, so if you have something like this at home, that is no problem.
Alright. So, we've got all our tools, we've got our idea. Now what now? We've got a blank canvas. How do we start with this?
Well, we were thinking a very good idea is to paint an evening scene, maybe with a moon or a tree. It's a very simple but very effective way of painting something very beautiful for adults or children.
Alright. So, you can take it away, Lune.
So first we're going to start with the base. I'm going to take the biggest brush I have at home. And I'm going to take this brush and mix the black and the white to give it a bit of a grey background.
Okay, so we've got our paint ready and all our tools. Now, we're going to start with the background, but how do we start? What colors do we use and how much of each?
Well, Zelda, take your white paint first.
Okay.
That is simple. So if you could just pour it onto my plate.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's see.
Just a little bit, it doesn't have to
Like
be too
that,
much.
more?
A little bit more.
A little bit more, so it's 1 drop, about 2 drops.
About 2 drops.
Like about that? Okay.
Perfect.
And now, are we only using white?
We're using black as well, just to mix a color to get the right grey.
Okay, so I've got our black paint. Where do I put this for you?
You can put it right next
there.
to just one little
Not
droplet.
too much. Ooh, it's coming, it's coming. There we go. Like that.
Okay, perfect.
There we
Depending
go.
on how much black you're going to use, that's a dark color. So not too much black and we'll get that perfect grey.
All right.
So we're going to start off with our large brush. I'm going to dip the large brush, the base brush, into black and white.
Oh, that's interesting.
It doesn't really matter how
So-
much you are going to use first because you are going to blend.
So we're not going to mix it all around in a circle in one color.
No, you don't have to mix
Okay.
it because acrylic paint will blend very nicely as long as it's wet and not dry.
Beautiful. All right.
All right, Zelda, so very easily, I'm just going to paint the base. You'll see how the colors are beautifully mixing onto the canvas. Very easy. An adult or a child can do this. And you can do this very fast. Turn your brush, dab your brush into both colors.
Okay.
Do not have to mix and swirl. And just quickly cover that canvas until all your paint has been used. And dab and mix and just go for it. Don't be scared when you don't get that color in the beginning that you want. You just keep on blending.
So I see you leaving a few gaps here as well. So you don't have to paint the entire canvas fully all the way. It's
No.
your own decision?
It's your own decision. Art is what you make of it. Remember, love art, see the potential of the canvas. Do not compare your art with other people's. It will, just want to move that paper plate, and it will beautifully come together.
Oh, look at that.
If you want to blend more later and your paint has dried, it doesn't matter, you can blend it over the dry paint and change it up as much as possible. Give it some confident strokes and you'll see how quick that was. You don't have to spend hours creating a background. So, Zelda, once your canvas is dry, we have our same paper plate that we used.
Okay.
Now we're going to incorporate it into a tool to use to create a beautiful moon effect.
Oh, that is interesting. All right, how do we do that?
So, what we do is grab a pencil. We're just going to mark.
Okay.
I flipped the paper plate over. We're going to
Yeah.
mark where we want to put our circle.
Okay.
I'm going to make, with a pencil, draw a round circle, trace it very, very easily,
There we go. Okay.
just like that. And there will be a pencil circle.
Beautiful.
All right. Then,
All right.
Zelda,
What's next?
this brush is clean. Wash your brush, as this brush was grey now. We have to clean it a bit. Dab it onto your serviette. Make sure that your surrounding environment is as clean as possible.
All right.
Okay, Zelda, if you may, will
Yes,
you
what do we do
please
now?
put on some pure white?
Okay.
This color.
Yes, all right, there we go. And bit more?
A bit more. And perfect.
There we go.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm using the big brush, biggest brush I have. And I'm going to paint inside this circle very easily. Do not go over the edges. Your edge will not matter if it goes over the line for now. You can always cover that up.
Okay, so anything in art can be fixed. Nothing is ever wrong, actually.
That's right.
Oh, that's amazing to know.
Especially with acrylic.
Oh, wonderful. All right.
I'm going to paint that shape.
Okay. I also see that the paint is a little bit see-through almost at this point. Does it stay like that? If we want it to pop nice and loud, how do we do that?
Well, Zelda, you can use a second layer when you wait and you let this dry.
Okay.
Paint a second layer of white and you will see how it will pop and go brighter and smoother.
Alright, so dry, let it dry first.
Let it dry first.
Take your second coat over, and the more you put, the more it will pop actually.
That's right. Okay guys, so as you can see, the moon has a different effect here. I did 2 layers of this. The first layer was not as bright.
Yes.
The second layer, I used the second layer of white just to give it a little bit of shading and not color in or paint the whole moon, and just leave a little bit of dark on that. And that already gives it a little bit more depth and definition. To give it a little bit of shading, like every moon has a shading on it, right? So unless it's not a full moon, you will get a shade on the moon. Okay, Zelda, so next we're going to paint a tree. So what we're thinking is, let's put the tree on the left side and let the branches start to cover the moon. It'll give it a beautiful feature.
That would be lovely. Obviously also because we've got more space on this side left, so we're going to work now, fit it in here.
Exactly.
Alright, so how do we paint trees?
So we can start with the tree as a black bark of the tree.
Yes.
So if you may, could you please put some black on our paper plates?
Alright, so there we go, some black.
I'll scrape it off with my brush.
Help there a bit. There we go. We don't want to waste paint. We want to grab every little bit we can. There we go. Alright.
Right.
So we've got a biggish brush.
A big brush. It's a round brush.
Okay.
The biggest round brush you find.
Alright.
You can just cover your whole brush like that. If you want to give the bark of the tree a little bit more color, you can dip it into white in the one side of your round brush. Just like that.
Okay. Just a bit of a smear there into the white.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I like to use this technique. I use the brush and I start off, sorry Zelda.
No, go ahead.
I start off from the bottom. I have my hand ready to twist. And you'll see how the different colors start to blend. So taking the white and twisting that brush in the same upward motion.
So that's also creating a bit of depth to it and not just one boring color. That's amazing.
And you just go over it until you have a defined base for your tree. So for your tree trunk, you're just going to keep on making branches. Even if it goes over your moon, keep on twisting and it will give a beautiful feature of light and dark. So that is your tree trunk. Okay. So just keep on painting over from a large piece of the tree into smaller branches, using that brush to define the edges, make it nice and neat, very easily. And there you can see your tree. So, Zelda, the next step is to paint the blossoms on the tree. The only two colors that we need for this to make that color pop off the canvas is blue and white. We're going to use different shades of blue to give it that definition from dark petals to light petals as the light of the moon shines onto the tree.
Oh, that sounds interesting. All right, so where do we start now?
So what I want you to do is just put a lot of white on the plate.
A lot of white. Okay, I think you're going to have to help me to get a bit out there.
Scrape a few out.
Okay, there we go. Lots of white. There we go. And then you said we're going to use some blue.
We're going to use some blue,
Oh,
the
that
blue
sounds
that you have.
lovely. All right, so how much blue? All of it, a little bit?
Just put a little bit of blue for now, just right next to the white.
Next to the white, okay.
Out of it.
Almost there.
There
Like
you go.
that.
So that's perfect, just
There
a
we
little
go.
bit. You don't need a lot. So what I'm going to do is mix my white and my blue and start seeing how the color change.
Okay, so I see we first take a little bit of the blue and start mixing and then more. We don't just put everything together at once first to see how the colors change, I assume?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we want to start off with a darker shade of blue for our first petals. Right, so I have a brush a little bit smaller than the one I used previously. This is your medium size, it's also a round brush. Any brush you have that looks like this at home. Okay, so my technique is not to paint perfectly a petal, but just to use my tool and just start dabbing away right over the branches of the tree, very quickly.
Okay.
So I am covering the tree with little blue blossoms and over the moon just with the darkest shade of blue first, and you're just dabbing away, not painting strokes but just quick dabs. This is a quick, effective way of making a beautiful painting. It's very therapeutic and it makes for a stunning decoration in your house.
Oh wow, look at that. Alright, so we've got beautiful blue blossoms going there. Is this it? Is this it? Sorry, are we doing more? What's happening now?
So just, Zelda, just to make this tree pop a little bit more, we're going to play a little bit with light. So to do that, we can make some of the blossoms, you can see is one shade color. It doesn't look a lot different from each other. We want that blossoms to pop a little bit more and put a little bit more lighter blossoms on top, just to give it that effect of the moon resting on the blossoms.
Alright, so we've got our plate still, we've got our blue, we've a bit of blue, we've got white. Can we reuse that? Do we need more paint? What are we doing now?
We want to save as much paint as possible. This is enough. You don't need any more than this.
Alright.
We still have our blue onto our paper plate. We can still reuse that blue. We want lighter petals. So what we're going to do is mix more white to the blue.
Alright.
So to demonstrate, I'm just going to mix nice and fast, just to make that blue a little bit lighter. I'm still keeping a little bit of white separate from the blue, as this will come in handy a little bit later on. Okay, so that is our middle blue color. So we have dark blue, middle blue, and we're also going to use a little bit of white.
Perfect.
So I will dab the second
blossoms.
color,
Lovely.
more blossoms, just to give it a little bit more character.
Yeah, you can definitely see the light coming in now, a bit of different texturing there. Oh, beautiful.
Texture, and it's so therapeutic. You don't really have to focus really hard. You don't have to make a big deal about perfect lines.
Okay, Lene, so we are there. It almost looks complete to me, but you said we're keeping a little bit of white paint aside for later. What are we going to do now? I see there's a little bit still left there.
Yes, Zelda, it's almost done. We just need 2 more steps.
Okay.
The last step on the tree is just to give it a little bit of white, just to give a little bit of feature where the blossoms are just pure white.
So we don't have to clean our brush completely before we do this. We rinse it a little bit, but a little bit of blue left over is not the end of the world.
No, the colors can still mix. We don't have to wash the brush.
Okay.
Because the colors will keep on mixing.
Beautiful.
And that just gives it that naturalness. It's not necessary to wash your brush. Now you can see,
look at that pop.
A little bit of pop of white makes all the difference.
Oh wow.
Zelda, the last thing you can do is just to give it a little bit of a ground space. Maybe, you know,
of course.
We're just going to put a little bit of black onto our paper plate. Just a little bit.
Black. You're gonna have to help me there, I think.
It's okay if it mixes with blue. We won't even see the color.
Oh, that's actually quite interesting as well, just to get a little bit of a mix there.
If you do want to not let the colors mix, just make sure that you wash your brush, clean it, and then
perfect.
Mix it with a little bit of black. And you can use any brush at this stage. Just give it maybe just a little bit of ground. In this case, it's black. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Not planning the ground too much, just a few strokes there. Beautiful.
Just a few strokes here and there. And that is how simple it is. It doesn't have to be this quick. You can concentrate on making more defined, more beautiful, but this is just a quick demonstration of how to use our beautiful paint and what we have available here in store. Thanks, guys.
Wow, well done, Lene, that's amazing. Sure, and in this short time and our limited tools, well, I am so inspired. I can't wait to go home and try my own. I don't know if it's going to turn out this beautiful, but I can't wait. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope you are going to do your own individual painting of this, and we hope to see you soon. Keep well.
Bye.